Good morning, everybody. You know, Representative Burton, I heard a whole lot in that, but I didn't hear Kentucky Colonel. You've earned that. We ought to fix that. Today and all through February, we honor Black History Month and the incredible African Americans who have contributed to our Commonwealth and to our country, leaders of the past and present who have made strides to build a better world for all of our people. They're leaders known worldwide, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said that when one commits themselves to the noble struggle for equal rights, they make themselves a better person, they make a greater nation of their country, and they make a finer world to live in. These words make me think of great Kentuckians like Darrell Owens, who we got to honor at this event last year, and so many other incredible individuals that we've honored in this rotunda. Darrell, when I think about him, is a monumental man who I know we all miss. But thankfully, he changed all of our lives for the better. And I believe that we have a responsibility to him and to others to honor their legacies by continuing their work, to ensure that prosperity and opportunity reach every part of Kentucky and every part of each of our cities, and that absolutely no one is left out. Because there is still so much work left to be done. And our children deserve better. They deserve a more just and inclusive Commonwealth, one where they can pursue their dreams no matter how big they are, and pursue them right here in Kentucky without anything getting in their way. It is impossible for me to imagine the horror, scars, and distrust that moments in our history have created. A history we must look back on because we should never turn away from even the most painful moments of our past. Instead, we should learn about them and learn from them so that we absolutely never repeat them. And we commit ourselves to doing better every day into the future. That's how we make progress together. As governor, but most importantly as the dad of 2 children I love more than life itself, I want you to know I'm committed to listening, learning, and taking intentional action. Because I know if we work together for the inches of progress, they become the feet, they become the miles, and that we can bring real, impactful, lasting change. We have made progress. I think back on these last 3 years, and we've now restored voting rights to over 180,000 Kentuckians. We've tried to break down barriers to education by implementing a free GED waiver. We've worked to provide the equitable distribution of that life-saving vaccine, making sure it reached every single community. We launched a health initiative in the midst of the pandemic when there was disproportionate death, something that ought never happen. And as of today, that's back down to the proportions of our Commonwealth and of our world, because nobody should ever get substandard health care. Every single Kentuckian deserves the best, especially in the midst of a pandemic. We're working together to deliver high-speed internet, clean water, and so much more to each neighborhood. We removed a statue from this very rotunda so it now serves all the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We launched the Everybody Counts program, aimed first in Jefferson County at making sure every single JCPS graduate is in higher education or is placed in a good job. We're supporting our HBCUs by signing important legislation, providing funding, and making the biggest signs on our interstate to show how proud we are of those institutions. In a very special moment that started 3 years ago in this rotunda, we righted a historic wrong when first in our National Guard, we promoted then Colonel Charles Young to Brigadier General Charles Young. And I'm proud the President of the United States answered the call and several years later made it official on the federal level. That is General Charles Young. And I am proud that we've already broken ground on what will be the first hospital in the west end of Louisville in 150 years. But I know that there is still so much to do, so many ways to make essential investments like universal pre-K so every child in the Commonwealth is kindergarten ready. These are real steps that make our future better. They make it better for all of our kids and ensure everybody has a chance at prosperity. We cannot create the Kentucky that we want. We can't fill all these amazing jobs that we are creating right now if we leave one child or one person behind. This might be our best chance with the coming prosperity to make up for years or decades of inequity. But we can only do that if we act intentionally and if we listen, to learn, to take those actions. Like many of you, my work is informed by my faith. Scripture tells us the Lord has told us what is good. What He requires of us is this: to do what is just, to show constant love, and to live in humble fellowship with our God. I want to thank so many of you for the fellowship, the friendship, in these last 3 years, especially when it's been hard, the love you've shown me and my family, but also each and every one of our Kentucky neighbors. We've been through a lot these last 3 years, but I've never seen us live out that golden rule and live out the parable of the Good Samaritan like I saw in the midst of this pandemic and after these natural disasters. Thank you and every Kentuckian for being really good people, and I hope we take the lessons of today, this month, and what should be the entire year, and we do better every day. Thank you all for having me.